So, I didn't know what the protocol was to do then. This is not live. If you're watching this and you're seeing it, then it's worked. If you're not watching this, then it hasn't worked, which makes me feel strange right now. But I'm going to pretend that it has worked. So yeah, I'm doing this pre-recorded. So you are totally important, totally important. But something else came up, and I guess that's life at the minute. So please take that as it's intended. That already sounds like a terrible start to the training, doesn't it? So welcome. Yeah, so I have got something on tomorrow when this is meant to be on. So I'm filming this now on a bank holiday. So when everyone's out there enjoying the sun, I'm here for you guys. Do chat. There might be the off chance that I can log in. If that's the case, great. Otherwise, please forgive me if I don't chat back to you. But this is getting stacked. And let's talk about what this is and what we're going to learn. So it builds upon what we've done before. If you joined us for Diversify Your Income, which, wow, that seems a long time ago now, this builds upon that. And obviously we started with the story about Rockefeller. And this is very much about trying new things and going to new places. And some of this is going to be uncomfortable. But this is what we need to do if we really want to think about new ways of bringing income into our business, which for many people that's telling me this is really important right now. And I get it, So what did we talk about last time? We talked about the 5 stories of success. And let me recap what those were. If you don't remember or if you weren't here for the training, by the way, you can go back and watch that again if that's useful. So what were they? The first one we talked about was My Mate Vince. My mate Vince, an electrician, found out how to make your broadband faster. Everybody was asking him at the pub. So he went and created a video, stuck it on YouTube, and accidentally became stacked. That sounds great, doesn't it? I wish I could accidentally become stacked. But started earning revenue, a passive revenue from multiple places. And we'll talk into that in more detail. What did he earn? I think it was up to about £210,000 a year from not working, which is really what we're trying to tap into. The next one we looked at was good old Ryan Toys Reviews, and they've diversified now. The whole family is involved, and it's not surprising. I think he's sitting at about £22 million a year. An 8-year-old now, I believe he is. Really going into computer games and all these different things. Toys in the supermarkets, toys in toy shops. You might have seen this already. How is he doing that? It's all through ads, really. Ads is the 22 million. So that's coming from YouTube, putting the videos on YouTube and then getting paid by ads and sponsorships, etc. So that was the let me entertain you route. The next one, I really, really liked it. I think it's so creative. It's the let me tell you route, and it was the story of the ebook ghostwriter who was making £150,000 a year from not writing books. So what he was doing, if you recall, he was finding the top selling non-fiction books on Amazon Kindle, and then he was reading the chapters, reading the reviews, and listing the chapters again with improvements based upon the reviews. He was then just sending this off to somewhere like People Per Hour, Fiverr, and getting them to write the content for it, to which he'd turn into an ebook, which is a free thing you can do, and then submit it to Kindle. Like I say, he was making £150,000. It's still making £150,000 a year from doing this. And on top of that, the world of affiliates. So he also was making money from selling things like watches. Nothing to do with him, just people that were clicking links inside his books were then making him valid, if you like, to earn that affiliate. It's mad. It's a mad world. And then we talked about Phil Ebner. And this is one that's really going to build into today's lesson a bit more. And this is Phil Ebner, passionate photographer. And he saw a little niche for the filters on cameras, really cheap filters that go on the lenses. I don't know too much about them, but, £3 or £4. He started selling them on eBay. Didn't make loads of money doing that, but built up this database of like-minded people. And then on that, he started selling to those audience. In 3 years, he's made $750,000 from doing that and becoming stacked. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. These figures, I chuckle when I hear these figures. It's just, oh yeah, $750,000 here, $250,000 there, 22 million there. It's mad. It's mad. The next one, let me share this with you. So this was the story of Nate Dallas that had an idea, didn't have much inkling of where to take that idea, so just sold it to someone else, sold it to Mattel in this instance. It was Air Pictionary, and he's since earned £200,000 from it in royalties. Not bad, not bad. And then there's another one I wanted to share with you, which is about the skiing life coach. This is someone I know, loves skiing. They're a life coach, and just on the off chance, they thought, you know what, I'm just going to list a product, and the product is going to be going away for a week skiing in Austria, and during that time, I'll throw in a bit of life coaching. It was kind of his ideal way of working, and he put it there. He put some stupid price tag on it, and what happened? Someone bought it. And this would have been about 5 years ago, and every year since, they've come back. So this was this principle of dreaming something, imagining something, and then see what can happen from it. So Let Me Dream is the one we haven't talked about before. So here they are. Here's 5 of them anyway. Let me show you. Let me get that for you. Let me entertain you. Let me tell you. And let me dream. These are all money-making models. But what is a stack? So a stack is what comes underneath each one of these models. So let me talk you through my mate Vince's stack. Started with knowledge. That knowledge led to you being able to buy products from that. From those products, he could make money off affiliate. From the knowledge, he could earn from ads, and even the products could be drop shipped or fulfillment. This vertical here is a stack. And the idea here is that each one of these things is related to the next. There's a logical flow. You watch a video, I show you something in the video, you buy the thing from me in the video. And that's what a stack works like. It's where these revenue opportunities are connected together. Okay, and then if we look at the stacks of all these guys, Phil Ebner, again, starts with that low value product. From that, he actually sells courses and affiliate products on the back of it as well. Ryan, a bit different. He starts with the content, create the great content, and then sponsorship and affiliate come from that. Then, let me tell you, the ghostwriter just creates the products and earns money from those products as well, it's worth saying. But then again, affiliates comes from that. And the Let Me Dream life coach just came up with something absolutely crazy and just waited for people to buy it, which they did. But then there's an opportunity to do partnerships as well. Again, this is what they did. So these are all stacks, and we're going to talk more about those in a second. But I know it's very easy for me to go off on a tangent and talk about these things. Oh, they're so easy. Just do this, just affiliate, just drop ship. And it can be overwhelming. And I totally get that. And what we want to do is we want to break it down as simply as possible to get you started, because it is about getting started. So we came up with something a while back, and we call it Project 26.5. The idea of this is it's no longer about doing everything. Project 26.5 is about focusing you down on something. And why is it 26.5? Because the aim is to get £26,500 a year from this in passive revenue. And I use the word passive carefully because it's going to take time and effort to set up. But once set up, you can continue to earn from it. So that equates to £2,208 a month. Suddenly, it's not so overwhelming. It's like, okay, well, how do I get to £2,000 a month? If you do, that doesn't mean it's capped. That means you can keep going, but you've got something that's a bit more achievable now, and still a fantastic thing to have, isn't it? The average salary coming in from not working. So that's what we're aiming for. So this is Project 26.5, and we want to help you get to that point. So let's talk in a bit more depth about a stack. So don't be overwhelmed by this. This is an example of someone who loves teaching guitar, loves playing guitar, loves teaching the guitar, and it's really important to start there. And all these things on the screen now are potential things they could do. And let me talk you through some of them. So, for example, if we start over on the, I don't know what it would be for you. Would it be left-hand side? I presume it would, where it says video and first note. A video of someone purely picking up the guitar for the first time. It's on YouTube. You never played a note before. Here's how to do it. Backed up by an article, content first note. That person does that. Oh, that was easy enough. Well, what's the next steps? If you found this easy, then download our ebook. Could be paid. It could be free. That's a nice logical step to it. But then when someone's got the ebook, in that ebook, you might be saying, well, what's a great guitar to have as a beginner? You might be doing it on this old guitar. Well, maybe you should really buy this. Click here to read a review. That's it. Suddenly, when everything's in place, that affiliate link is there, and suddenly you can earn money from if they buy online. So that's one route, one stack. The other thing, a little bit more like the Phil Ebner approach to cameras, you might want to sell guitar strings. Why would you want to sell guitar strings? They are cheap. You can post them easily. People need lots of them. The people buying them will be the ones that are playing guitar. Now, again, depending on what guitar strings you are selling, are they the dirtiest, cheapest version for beginners or more advanced ones? If they're the cheapest ones for beginners, then actually these people are still learning. So then a course online, for example, of how to play guitar might be really, really good for these people. They could pay for it. It could be on Udemy. It could be elsewhere on many of these other platforms that are free to put content on. And again, you can still be earning from that affiliate purchase at the end there. Why do we like that? Because a guitar might cost anything from £50 to £2,000-3,000. So suddenly a percentage of that is a nice revenue to have for not doing anything. And then let's look at content. So guitar reviews. So this guitar is great. This guitar isn't great. Reviews online. It can link to selling the guitar directly. You could even make the guitar yourself if you want to, which I've seen people do. And even videos of guitar reviews as well. And then right over there at the far side, or over there, wherever it might be, is the big picture stuff, the dream stuff. It could be, let's go off to an island and learn to play guitar. And right now in lockdown, that does feel like an absolute dream. And you might get sponsorship from guitar manufacturers actually saying, well, I want to sponsor you on this amazing thing that you're doing. It sounds crazy, but like Kevin Costner in The Field of Dreams, if you don't build it, they can't come. Or the other way around, if you build it, they can come. Think big. This is an opportunity. There's no cost to any of this other than putting the ideas out there. And it's amazing how sometimes these things can come to life. So hopefully that makes sense. That's an entire spectrum of things you can do all around just the love of playing guitar and teaching guitar. Now, if I put some figures on there, now these figures are totally arbitrary. I've done some calculations on what you could earn from these things as a realistic thing, realistic guesses, looking at other examples. This isn't necessarily what you would earn, but this is what you could. So as you can see, what I've done there is I've just broke it down and put the quantity based on the demand, and you can see the demand for these things, and then worked out what a conversion might be on it, and just put a monetary value for them. So for example, selling guitar strings based on how many people are searching and buying guitar strings, you could make £1,000. If you sell 1,000 of them and you make £1 on them each in a month, that is £1,000. Obviously, as you know, this is quite big, but that's the sort of demands that are out there. The course might be £30. You might sell 100 of them. That's £3,000. Watching ads on the videos, it might equate to a penny per view, and even that might be optimistic. This is very much a benchmark, but that might equate to about £30. But you can see how these numbers start to add up. Now that, again, is a hypothetical situation, but that would equate to 8,710 a month, £100,000 a year. Yes, please. That would be fantastic. And we're not even touching onto the Dream Island stuff yet at all. But that's a lot of layers. And if I'm totally honest with you, to get to that kind of place where you've got all those plates spinning, it could be 12 months, it could be 3 years. It's going to take a lot of time to get there. And I'm just saying that to be as honest and frank with you as possible. So you've got to start somewhere. So rather than trying to do all of it, the thing is here just to break it down. Now, what we say, or what I say, is try and focus on three things. Three things that are connected. That's kind of the key part of it. You've got to make sure that they flow together. So, for example, take selling guitar strings with a course behind it and then an affiliate to guitars. Those three things down the middle there might be a great first place to start. You can always add more later. But the key thing here is that any effort that you're putting in, you're being smarter about it, and it's connecting to the next thing. In marketing, we call it like a marketing funnel. Basically, you're funneling your user through multiple potential revenue streams for you. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit geeky. I went a bit geeky there. But this is the thing. Start with three. One might not be enough. And one is probably a missed opportunity as well. For example, if you get loads and loads of views on a video, but then you're not taking them anywhere, you're not going to get that view again. So again, it's worth actually planning this out in a similar thing before you start. And that's what I would advise you to do. Take your product, services, your knowledge, whatever that might be, and create your own mind map, if you like, plan of all these potential things and what they could be, and then how they could connect together logically, and just start with that user in mind. And that does bring us on to what Stacked stands for. Oh, I love a framework, as I'm sure you guessed by now. My wife hates these, by the way. But for me, with my small brain, it allows me to remember the steps. So what is Stacked? Stacked is start with who. Really, really important with so many things that we do. Who is it that we're after? And target where they are. So building a website and hoping that they come to you isn't enough. This is actually taking your products and your services in this approach to where they are, be it eBay, be it YouTube. It's not about waiting for that click. Attract them with something, give something away, get them using your services for free to start with. Be a loss leader on a product, whatever it needs to be, just attract them with a bait. And then have a core offering. So you're not going to make your millions selling guitar strings. You might, but I don't think you are. You need a core offering where you can really bring the value. Whatever that looks like, that's the piece to really focus on. And why not have this Dream King product as well? This thing that if someone buys it, it's well worth the effort to even bring it to life, and even consider things like Kickstarter, to see if you can get a bit of group funding there behind it as well, crowdsourced. And yes, we say start with three, but that's not to say you can't keep building on it more and more and more. Evolve what we call the product ecosystem, to add more things on it as long as they're all connected together. And finally start doing. None of this is going to come to life if we're not actually trying things and learning and getting things wrong as well, along the way. It's going to be part of it. So the start with who, I can't stress this enough, get obsessed by your potential customer. Now, try not to be too broad here. Niche is good. How old are they? What gender are they? What interests do they have? Where do they live? What language do they use? What platforms are they on? All these things will really, really help you get into the psyche of your user and give them what they want, or certainly be able to at least find them and spot them where they are, which is the start point of this. This is customer centricity, which is what so many of the big marketing businesses are all about. It's so important, whatever your business is, what does the customer want? And then how can you be there and give it to them? Now, the other key thing here is we've said a click on your site to come to you is a luxury. Let's go to them. So let's think about where they are and where they are shopping or searching. And here are some examples, very top level examples of the type of people. Now, you probably know your audience and you've probably got an idea of the type of person that they are. So where do they fit into this mix, or is there one that's missing? Are they knowledge hunters, professionals, enthusiasts, coaches, etc., and are seeking out information? They're probably on YouTube or reading ebooks, so those would be good products to start in your stack. Are they go-getters, entrepreneurs, the people setting their own rules, business owners, millennials, connected? Again, Udemy, are they learning new skills? Could you be on there? Are they watching self-improvement products and help products on YouTube? How to is the most searched term on YouTube. Are they bargain hunters? So are these people like Studers, Monters? I don't know what Montes is. I'm guessing that's a typo. There might be a few typos. I think it's meant to say mothers, I'm guessing. I did this. Savvy shoppers, people hunting down that bargain. And where will they be, for example? They might be on eBay or YouTube. I need to have a moment here, don't I? This is live, so I'm recording this live, which means I can't stop, so I'm going to have to go through this. Or is it the dream ticket stuff? The Mr. and Mrs. Big with personal wealth. It's not actually important how much it costs. It's just that you're offering something that they want. They might have a lifestyle business. They might already be members of the 26.5 Club, for example. And then they're looking at content and ebooks. But whatever it is, it's about getting to that mindset of your audience. Then focus down on that core product. What is the thing that you want to start on? It might be the thing that you want to do the most. It might be the thing that's easiest for you to do. It might be the thing that has the most value. You're the one to decide upon that, but it's the thing that probably is going to bring you the most value in this. And it's the core. It's the thing that sits in the middle that you could try lots of things and push them into it, and that is going to help you with your aim to turn this into a successful stack. And do dream. We spoke about it, but have a little bit of a what if moment. Well, could we do this? To write it down on paper and put it out there on a post on social. It's amazing how these things can come to life. But why not explore the Kickstarter route if you've got a really good idea forming? And then you can evolve it. You can bring different things into this. Just make sure you're connecting the dots. This is really, really important. If you're not connecting the dots, it's just effort, and it's other pools of audiences starting elsewhere, and that's not what we want to achieve from this. And then the final thing is just start doing. Now, I've got no idea where we are on time, but I'm about 2 or 3 minutes off finishing. So start doing. Like, you've got to go into this with the motivation. You're doing this because you love it. We talked about loving to play guitar. This is key. If you're going into it to make money, it probably isn't going to work because it is going to take time. You're going to get things wrong. Something isn't going to work. If you love what you do, it will come good in the end. So take that mindset into this. And if you don't love what it is, think about what it is that you do love that actually could be the way you can make money. This is the ingredients for success. Then strategy. Get strategic. You're not going to stumble upon success here. I know I tell the story of my mate Vince, but actually, there was thinking behind it. There was logic behind it. And yes, it got a bit lucky at the very start of it, but then thought, well, there's something here. I need to build upon it. And that's really what you've got to do the same. Every action needs to go towards the same goal. This is really what we want to do. So you're not wasting any effort. And the final thing, and I'm terrible at this. I'm not terrible at this, actually. I make so many mistakes. I'm thinking back to 2 or 3 mistakes in this. Forget perfection. If you want it to be perfect, you'll never, ever start. You've got to start. You've got to make mistakes. If it starts attraction, it's good. That's so much better than waiting for it to be perfect. Start, refine it, evolve. This is the process that you really need to be going and moving for it. And, hopefully, you can get to that number, 26.5 within a period of time, and just build and build and build. And that's what we want to happen. And I might make it sound easy, I might make it sound flippant, but it is doable. We live in this amazing, amazing time now where these things are possible, and a bit of strategic thought behind it, you can tap into an amazing opportunity to earn online. And this is really what we want you to do. And let us know how it goes. Let us know if you're successful with it. Let me know where you fall into problems with it. Drop me an email. Or obviously leave it in the feedback, which I'm going to talk about now. So that is Getting Stacked. Like I say, I've not really been keeping track of the time, so I've got no idea. I hope we're in the half an hour limit, but let us know. The feedback, I'll put a link to that in the offers tab, which will be below here. Click it, leave the feedback. If you're not watching this through the webinar, if you go to bit.ly, bit.ly/feedback boost, and just let us know, is it useful, what's not useful, where you've hit problems, and obviously please let us know if you get anywhere near that figure, which would just be absolutely amazing. And we read all the feedback. It is super useful for us, so thank you to everybody that's been doing that. And back to Rockefeller, we're going to have to try new things. If we want to diversify and we want to, create this magical passive income, we're not going to do it without, going down different paths. And that's really what this is about. Some will come easy, some won't, but it's all efforts that's going to help in the long run. So that is me. That is Getting Stacked. Now, hopefully some music will play in a minute, and hopefully I'll disappear, and hopefully you've even been able to watch this in the first place. So thank you so much again. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Goes on this track. I felt like if I ended it too soon, it would be a mistake, so